The mics are hot, and so's the gossip. Let's get into it in 3. Welcome to In 3. I am Danielle Graham.
And I'm Callie.
And I honestly feel like I have not talked to you in days, which is so weird and so not our norm.
No, totally. I think that in some ways we have never been closer, and in others never further apart. Usually when things are going down in our lives, in the news, we pick up the phone, we're DMing, we're chatting, we're giggling all throughout the week. And now it's like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. I don't want to know how you feel about this.
Yeah.
Save it for Tuesday.
Yeah, you came by this morning and to pick something up, and I tried to talk to you about some of the stories for today, and you were like, no, no, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, then don't talk to me. Then we're not talking.
No, we're not talking. I don't want to know.
I know. That's the best part,
because
though.
everybody knows that if we were to dissect all of the things before the cameras were rolling, we would lose all of that sort of authentic banter and material and reactions. And we don't want to lose that. So it's kind of getting in between us a little bit.
A little bit. Needless to say, I love these days when we can sit and do this.
I know. I can't wait to talk to you. I feel like I don't know anything. I literally don't know where you stand on so many of the things we're going to talk about today, which I'm genuinely pumped to know what Danielle is thinking.
Same.
So it's a blessing and a curse.
It is indeed. Yeah. The Oscar nominations happened. Mm-hmm. So we've got some idea of who's going to be there at this year's Academy Awards, which are in March.
Yes, I think March 2nd. And they're going forward with it because during the wildfires, we weren't sure what the Academy was going to do in terms of whether it was going to be more of a telethon to raise money and honor, the families and the people who have lost so much. But so far, it looks like regular, same old Oscars with some fresh new faces, which I like, and some old faces that we've seen before, right? Adrian Brody, who's been nominated 1 billion times for the same movie, basically.
Exactly.
He's on the list. You can always count on that. And then some newbies like Ariana Grande.
Yes. The question is there a hard launch?
Yeah.
With Ethan at the Oscars?
Well, I wonder
I think
because,
it's possible.
Yeah, because, I think, they had their alleged affair where they met on the set of this movie, and then he left his, was she a pregnant wife or she was a new mom, or she was pregnant. Left her for Ariana. And I think throughout the press tour and leading up to award season, they were sort of trying to bury that so that it didn't come in between her and her Oscar or
That's
her
right.
Oscar potential.
Yeah.
But now she's kind of made it there. And now it looks like, he posted for the first time a photo of her. Kind of looked like in her jammies the morning of the announcement. So it was an intimate post.
It was a sleepover post. For sure.
Yeah.
And you're right. They can't take back the nomination now. So she's got, nothing to lose.
So maybe they're like, let's just go for it.
Yeah. We know you didn't love The Substance, but Demi Moore nominated.
Demi. No, I'm so happy for her. Didn't love the movie. Still very confused by it. But love her moment and her renaissance.
Too. Me too.
And cannot wait for us to unpack her latest romance rumors.
I cannot wait to get into that story with you.
Yeah.
That's the second story in the big three. Demi Moore has a new man, and it's a shocker. We were both like, what? And
I know.
Also,
I have been clamoring to get to this convo.
I know. Instantly obsessed with it. Yeah. Also for Succession fans, both Kieran Culkin and Jeremy Strong are going to be at the Academy Awards, which is going to be
throwing shade left and right, just like they did at the Globes.
Yes.
I loved that moment when Kieran won the award and Jeremy did not. And, they instantly panned to the reactions of the people who didn't win the award. And Jeremy Strong, his former co-star from Succession, is giving the most bitchy side eye I have ever seen.
Rude.
Multiple times. And I just loved it. I don't think they had a great relationship on set. Loved they're both going to the Oscars. Also saw the movie with Kieran, and he could just not be more lovable. I love him so much, and he's kind of a loose cannon, and that's going to be fun.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Because Demi and Kieran are both pretty much locks for those awards.
Yeah. So that's going to be some fun acceptance speeches,
Yeah.
And I look forward to the ones that you're like, okay, this could be good. This could be juicy or inspiring or both.
Yeah.
We're not going to see Angelina Jolie. She's never that exciting, I don't think, on a red carpet anyway.
Yeah.
Also just not my favorite person.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just,
Say more.
Just not had the best experiences.
She's a little icy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just hates me, hates my face, sees me, and is just like, don't like your face, don't like you, don't want to see you.
That's
don't
impossible.
No, thank you, but
just not.
Maybe it's not just her. It's got to be other people too, or maybe it's just her. I don't know. Nicole Kidman, I will miss not seeing her. She didn't get the nomination.
Baby girl didn't get the nom.
Yeah. Shall we line up what the big three looks like this week?
Let's set the stage. Today is such a good one.
It's so good.
I love it. So the first topic, obviously, we have to talk about Blake and Justin and Ryan Reynolds, the new villain, and all of the things that have come through in the press since we talked last week. Like, it's literally every week is a new novel of an encyclopedia of new allegations, of new things coming forward, of new things materializing. So yeah, a lot there again.
An avalanche of evidence that is coming out.
Yeah.
Just like non-stop.
It sure is.
Do you know how many things I have saved in my Instagram folder? It's like save, because I got to come back to it because I have to tuck into it and deep dive it. So there's so much there.
Yeah.
Second story in the big three, Demi Moore and her new man.
Yes. Say no more.
No, really, I can't wait.
Save it.
And then our third story, Harry and Meghan, the latest with
Vanity
them.
Fair article
Yeah.
has been revealed. And there's some juicy deets in that one.
Yeah, a lot of revelations in that one. Revealed is the perfect word. Yeah. And then finally, we have to talk about the Baldwins.
We have to talk about them.
Yeah.
That is an unexpected story that came about yesterday when they dropped the trailer for their new show. And we need to unpack all of it.
We do. Coming soon too. TLC.
Right.
Okay. Justin, Blake, Ryan, the latest. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
We can start by saying there is a trial date. We have a trial date.
Wait, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like 403 days away. March 6th, 2026. So for the next 400 days.
So we're going to be here a while. Tuck in, everyone.
Yeah, get comfortable. And, there's just been so much more that has come out. I think the Voicenote is what's really got people's heads spinning right now.
Yeah, because that was the most recent thing to be exposed is this 6.5-minute voice note from Justin to Blake at 2 a.m. The night of their meeting that we spoke about last week with the Dragons, where Taylor Swift was allegedly present. Ryan was there, and they were talking about the scene that Blake and Ryan had rewritten for the movie, the infamous rooftop scene.
Yes.
And this voice note, it was just a stream of consciousness, if you ask me.
Should we play a little clip of it? Because the start of it, here's what happened. I listened to it and I found myself oscillating the entire time I was listening. I went from oh, wow, how sincere and how heartwarming and but also how manipulative and also how inappropriate, but also, oh my gosh, so self-effacing and so effusive and and I just kept going back and forth and I couldn't really figure out how I felt. So I had to listen to it several times. If you listen to it once and take that at face value, I think you need to listen to it again.
Yes.
Maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
Just to pick up on a little bit more nuance in the way things are being said and what he is saying. So let's play.
Okay, let's play it.
Let's play it.
Let's play it and have a little listen here. Okay, this is the 6-minute voice note.
Does he sound naked to you like Jerry Springer sounded naked?
Naked. Okay, let's listen and see if we think Justin might be naked. It's not impossible.
I mean, it's 2 a.m.
There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank, and I'm really sorry.
Okay, let's pause there for a moment.
When I listen to it, on one hand, I hear a man who is very sincere and is trying to make it right with his colleague and his co-star that he cares for very deeply. Mm-hmm. And it does sound, I mean, he's an actor, but it sounds like he's emotional to me.
Yeah.
From that perspective.
Yeah, I hear emotion. I also don't think that 2 a.m. is necessarily weird because films work at weird times.
Yeah.
They don't always shoot, in the normal working hours of the day. So I don't think that that's necessarily very strange. He does sound emotional, and I do think the apologies to me sounded sincere. And I think starting with an apology is a great place to start if there were some tensions there, and also validating her experience. And I'm sorry you felt that way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I made you feel that way. So
Right.
like some ownership there. That part I was fine with.
And if you put it in the light of they have just had this unpleasant encounter about this scene and disagreements around it. And Justin says from his camp that, it felt like a bit of a gang up, and it felt like, he really needed to get her on side, because the rumor was, or at least the rumor they're planting, is that she basically was saying, I'm not going to be a part of this if you're not going to do what I'm telling you to do.
That's right.
And so, he might have gotten home and panicked.
Well, it's like you can't match that kind of energy. If the dragon energy was really elevated, which is what we're assuming it was, you can't go up here because then you get nothing solved.
Yeah.
So he did have to bring the energy down, meet her where she was, which was in a place of needing some validation and an apology, and needed to feel seen.
Yeah.
He could have been like, that was super messed up.
Yeah.
Your friend and your husband had no business being a part of this, because truthfully, they didn't.
Yeah.
But he didn't approach it that way. So I'm going to give him full points there.
Right.
But there's more.
Yeah. But I also think that he could have said nothing and
Yep.
just gone a professional route, which would be to involve Sony or involve Wayfarer and have a conversation and a dialogue in a professional setting. The thing is that they have established a relationship where they text and, as he said, FaceTime and clearly voice note in the middle of the night. So they haven't gone about, I think, this relationship in a super professional manner. Not to say that there's been anything insidious, although obviously that's at the root of all of this. Is it insidious or is it not?
What we're learning is of the closeness and of the intimacy of their relationship. I'm not saying like sexually intimate, just like there's a close, intimate relationship there to be able to have those kinds of conversations.
Yes.
I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm going to fuck up. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize and find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of.
Okay, okay. For me, though, that kind of language is I'm going to piss you off but I'm going to find my way back to center. That's how you talk to a boyfriend. That is not how you speak to a coworker. I have never in the history of my career said to a coworker, I'm going to piss you off, but I'll always find my way back to center. That is relationship talk, isn't it?
Well, I think it is kind of giving away that they have this closeness.
I just keep thinking it doesn't look good for him and it doesn't look good for her, because if I'm either of those partners listening to this, I don't like this.
Right.
This is for me, and maybe I'm uptight, maybe I'm a prude, maybe I'm a jealous monster. I don't know. If this was Randall sending a voice note like this, Callie?
I know. I would lose my mind.
I would lose it. This is so far out of bounds for me in terms of how you communicate with the people you work with.
Damn right. You got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that, and fuck.
They're referring to, I guess, some past experience that she's had or multiple experiences on set where she has either felt maligned, where she has felt disrespected, where she has felt like she wasn't taken seriously.
Yep. Her contributions weren't welcomed, or if they were given, they weren't accepted, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
We all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're two of the most creative people on the planet. The three of you guys together is unbelievable.
Okay, you know what? Actually,
Energy.
I have a new feeling.
Okay.
Because again, the more I listen, the more I'm picking up. We have been around talent, as actors and actresses can be known, a lot.
Yeah.
This portion of the voice note especially is saying to me, placate.
Yes.
We got to get through this production. We are already behind. We are already over budget. We are already sending wardrobe that we weren't anticipating sending wardrobe to her home. We are delaying. We're getting threats of like not finishing. placate her, whatever you have to do. 100%. And that's his role as producer too, right? Is to make sure the movie stays on track. So him saying, your friends are amazing and you're also creative and talented and you're so great and I'm sorry. This is him just being like, pet.
This is giving kissing ass.
Yeah. I love you. You're perfect.
Yeah.
Yay. Because to be honest, that's what they like to hear.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm great. My friends are great. My husband's great. You love me. Thank you.
Yes. And
that's what that is.
I think in the stuff that I've read that he's put forward in his claims against her, he's saying everything just pushed her further away from making the movie that we wanted to make. And it became this like desperate attempt to just get her aligned so that they could just get the movie out there.
Right.
And I think maybe this was the last moment where he tried to push back. He didn't like the roof scene they had written, or he said it wasn't, he wasn't going to use it. And that was his right as the director to say,
nuh-uh.
Thank you, but we already have our scene. And he tried to push back and then left and either spoke to someone on his team that just said, listen, it's a game over. Like,
right.
Wave the flag. We're done. And it feels as though that's what's happening here. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's Placation Nation.
Placation Nation.
That's what.
Hundo P.
And all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together. And I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there. Has been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met, and there's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. So there's been
See, I get to work with Blake Lively and have all of her.
All of her.
That is not, again, within the professional bounds of communication, in my opinion.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Yes.
What else did you get from that piece?
Okay. I just need to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman, every single one of us has been a girl at a nightclub with a guy who was dancing too close.
Mm-hmm.
And we always have signals between girls where it's like, okay, I'm going to come save you if you look like you need to be saved.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
There's a whole code in place.
There's a code. All
Yes.
the girls know it. And apparently the guys still don't know about it. So, but the guy, every time, I'm pretty sure, is thinking like, this girl's having a blast. We're in this together. We're both enjoying this moment of dancing together.
Mm-hmm.
But really what the girl is thinking, panic, get me out of here. I am very uncomfortable.
Yep.
And then best friend reads it, clocks it, does it, gets her out of there.
Swoops in, evacuate.
Mm-hmm. Eject button, straight out the roof.
Yes.
Now, what I'm thinking, and what I've gathered by watching that unedited footage and by listening to this voice note and hearing everything, is like, this guy, I don't think he has bad intentions, and I don't think he's a pervert. But I think that no man knows what it's like to be a woman, and no man understands that us listening to this voice note, it does come off a bit creepy. Have you ever seen that show called The Affair with Joshua Jackson?
Of course.
Where it's like
all the different timelines.
The timeline. So it's like his
the lenses.
timeline
Yes.
and her timeline.
Yes.
It's the same day, same experiences, and they see them completely different.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going on here.
Yeah, I don't think it's intentional. I don't know that he's not unaware of what he's doing. I think he's really smart. I think Justin Baldoni is a very smart man. I think he's enjoying the flirtatious nature of some of these conversations. Is he stepping out on his wife? Not that we know of, but he is definitely edging to outside of what is okay.
Yeah.
What would be okay for me anyway.
Right.
Now, if I'm his wife, I don't like any of this.
Right.
And maybe that's kind of how he moves through the world. It's
I
like,
was going to say, I'm not sure if it's a Blake specific thing.
I don't think it is either. I think it's more than likely a pattern.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, I'm this married guy and I have kids, but sometimes, I get my kicks by being just that little bit too far flirty.
Yeah.
Because it just,
He's a good flirt.
I think he's a huge flirt.
Yeah.
And I think he stepped out of line with some of these things, but I don't think he's unaware.
Okay.
I think he's aware.
Okay.
But I think he thinks he's staying enough within the lines that it's not creepy and it's not, in his estimation, not hers. This is not in any way, what is her allegation? Sexual
harassment.
it's not sexual harassment, but it's enough to make her go, ugh. And honestly, if I woke up to that voice note at 2 a.m. or in the morning, I would have been like, ugh.
I'm just trying to think about if he has been given this harassment notice early on in the filming process, how do you get from there to here and continue with this flirtatious behavior that she has publicly to your entire crew rejected?
Yeah, but no one's hearing that. Like if you look at the commentary now when this voice note came out, no one sees any of that. No one's hearing any of that. They're like, this is a slam dunk for Justin. I don't think this is a slam dunk for Justin at all.
They released this in defense of him.
Yeah. And honestly, I think it actually tipped the scales the other way a little bit. If public favor was 80% for Justin, I think it's dialed back a little bit now. Because
do you think?
A smidge, maybe a couple percentage points, maybe. Not a ton. But I think for me, this colors in some of those question marks of his behavior. Because it is parts of this voice note are inappropriate. Yeah. And they could make a woman uncomfortable easily. So it isn't, and they are, when they released this, his legal team released this, they did acknowledge like this is us sending everything out, all the evidence, all the unvarnished, all the everything, because we have nothing to hide. So they're kind of in some ways acknowledging that, listen, this doesn't look great, but it's not as bad as she's claiming it is.
I mean, with the footage from on set, they said you will clearly see that how she colored this with him, kissing her at times that it wasn't scripted to be so, or dragged his lips across her collarbone or whatever, that they were saying you'll see that was mischaracterized here. Right? They thought that was an absolute slam dunk. Watch this 10 minutes and you'll see that none of this is true. Well, let me tell you something. I watched it and I did not have that feeling whatsoever. I had a feeling like, if I'm Blake and I'm thinking about it from her lens, she is begging that man not to kiss her.
She's going full Keanu Reeves Matrix.
Oh,
no. Not gonna get me. No.
Oh my God.
Right?
Matrix. Yes. She is contorting herself in all kinds of ways to avoid those lips. So
yes. And he just kept coming in with that face. And
she's like, we should talk.
He's like, don't give them what they want. Don't give them what they want. They want it. Don't give it to them. And he's just like, nuzzle, nuzzle, nuzzle.
Yeah. Nope. Not today, sir.
I'm not laughing at the situation.
No, of course. And that's the thing. So I see that everyone is so pro Justin, and I read his whole lawsuit. I read every rebuttal that they have to every complaint that she shared. Okay. Like when she said that she didn't want to hear any more anecdotes from his sex life, it turns out, from his perspective, that he was just sharing something in the context of them shooting a scene where they were talking about whether or not the man in the scene, Ryle, should orgasm.
Right.
Or not. Okay.
This is the scene.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh my God.
Then Blake apparently shared during that filming, like, oh my God, I would be mortified if I was with someone who didn't orgasm and I did. And he said, those have been some of the most beautiful moments with my partner. Okay.
Right.
So yes, that sounds like a perfectly innocuous explanation for that, for him to have shared that.
Yeah. But she led that conversation. Let's be real.
And she started that conversation.
She made it personal. She brought it from the movie to personal life.
Yeah.
So then he picked up the thread, if we're going to call it that.
Right.
Right.
So that's one example where they slam it down and say, no, these were two friends on set sharing their two perspectives. It was not pervy, because a lot of the things we read in her lawsuit, I was like, these men sound like disgusting
predators. Yes.
Pervs, pigs,
yes.
Predators, all of the P's. And I can't even remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Right.
Actually, it's always a smoothie. But if it wasn't for the fact that it was always a smoothie, I have a terrible memory. She details every single conversation so explicitly, where she was either keeping notes like a psychopath, being like, oh, I'm going to use this against them. Or from her perspective, in those two lenses, she was feeling uncomfortable. And so everything that they did that was remotely intimate or personal or pushed her further into this feeling of like, okay,
something. No, but you know, when
grossing me out.
Yeah, when something just doesn't feel right, and then it's almost like there it is again. There it is again.
Yeah.
There's this is the thing. And if she is keeping notes, it could, and she might have very well done that.
Yeah.
It might not have been, I'm going to use this against them. I'm going to use this to protect myself because I have a feeling
in case
we get where we are today. Right. And I've done that, straight up, done it, had to do it. Because when things were when there's been times in my life when things didn't feel right. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. And the discomfort is hers to feel. And that's a fact. So I think it's that too. I think it's a lot of like, there it is. I don't like that. I don't want to talk about that with you. I don't want to hear your thoughts on this very intimate personal thing about the thing. She did drive some of it for sure.
Yeah.
But and I don't know how you can cherry pick where you're okay to talk about things, like orgasms are okay to talk about, but other things are not. Like that's also really muddy, where it's like you can flirt, which there was mutual flirting, I think, in that video, even though there was some matrixing. I think there was some slight flirting on her side too.
I just saw a woman very uncomfortable.
You saw a woman in a club very uncomfortable with a man.
I saw a woman in a club that needed her bestie to come save her. And that's what it was giving for me. I was so uncomfortable with it. And he's so cute. He's so charming. But that doesn't mean that he didn't make a woman feel uncomfortable. And that's the part. The internet is pissing me off, Danielle.
I know.
And I actually have become the person. I am in the comments on other people's posts.
I've seen you. Stop. Seen you on Perez Hilton's Instagram. I was like, is that Callie commenting? Because I'm mad. I know. I see it.
Fired
I love it. That's why we have this podcast.
I have literally never in my life commented on a stranger's post.
I loved it.
Okay. I am appalled at the behavior of people because I think that everyone is so blinded by their dislike for Blake.
It's a pile-on at this
point. I don't like
though.
her either. Okay,
sure.
Let's be clear. And it's a pile-on. You're right. And I think that they're so blinded by her dislike for Blake and their love of Baldoni, and people are just being so biased to the point where I just can't take anyone seriously.
That's what the purpose of this. What we're trying to do here is look at it from all sides and all angles. And I don't have a definitive stance. I think there's lots of things that are working against Blake. Some of her behaviors are absolutely questionable. Yep. I think, wielding super status and weaponizing that's gross. And that's not working for her. But I also have a lot of feelings about the way he's behaved as well. So I think, again, no one's going to win here. This is bad for everybody.
Here's the question mark, though, because a lot of this, so it was about the sexual harassment, but now it's become also about what Justin is saying is that this was just a fight for creative control. Now, if I'm Blake and Ryan, why do I care so much about creative control? Because first of all, we have been told she didn't read the book. So she's not super passionate about this project. This is just a project for her. It's just a movie. And Ryan has his hands in so many different things. He creates and produces and writes and directs movies all on his own. And they could cherry pick a brand new project for Blake to have all to herself. She could direct it. They could do the whole thing.
They could produce the whole thing.
Do it together.
Yes.
That's so fun. Why this one? Why? So that's the big question mark for me, because I feel like there's so many pieces and we jump on the piece and we forget to look at the big picture.
We do jump on the most recent piece too.
Yeah.
Like we haven't gone all the way back again, because you have to go through the timeline and go back and forth to really make a better decision on how you feel about these things, or more informed decision on how you feel about these things.
Yes, because if we're trying to look at Justin's argument, which is that all of the things that she's done is just to get creative control of this movie and push him out. So that would mean that her complaint all the way back during the writer's strike about feeling uncomfortable would have been calculated, lies thrown out there, just to plant the seed so that she could gain creative control in the end. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. First of all, she would have to be a raging psychopath. Like, not just a little bit moody, but a raging psychopath. Okay. She would have to have like some serious mood disorders.
Right. A major pathology here.
Major. We would need a few diagnoses.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just like, that doesn't make sense to me. But then the other thing that doesn't make sense to me is if they're having such a terrible time with Justin, why ingratiate yourself deeper into this process? Why not just if I'm Ryan, I'm saying, just put your head down, let's get through it, and we'll handle it at the end. Instead, it's they're spending more time in edit bays together. They're sending more text messages. They're inviting him over to his house to fight for this rooftop scene. They all seem unhinged to me. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
And the only thing that I can think of,
why are they all unhinged?
The only thing that I can think of is that Blake felt uncomfortable. She goes to Ryan. She says, I'm uncomfortable. This man is pervy. Okay. And he's now has the rage that only a husband who loves their wife and wants to protect them could feel. And he's thinking, he is finished. We won't let him have an inch of this. Oh, you're gonna make my wife feel this way? Well, guess what? I'm gonna take it all away from you.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that happened because he was jealous, as people are saying, and we can talk about that. But I don't think that happened because he was jealous. I think it happened because he's he has power to wield. There we go. He has power to wield, and he's defending his wife, and they can go in and say, not today. This is ours now. Goodbye. Make him sit in basements during premieres, and they can push him all the way out of the process. That is the only argument that I think makes sense.
It makes sense to you. Not one part of you thinks a feeling or two was caught?
I don't know.
I don't think I'm ready to rule that out.
Okay.
I know that that's sort of the loudest commentary right now.
Yeah.
I don't believe it all the way, but it has not been fully eradicated for me yet. There's something still kind of itching in the back of my mind.
Okay.
That maybe not a full blown love, but a little feeling or two was caught, and it got a little intense, and it maybe got a little sideways. I'm not saying for sure, but I'm not ruling it out.
Because the biggest theory as well right now is that Ryan came on set one day, saw the dailies, which is just looking at the clips from the day from on set, saw that there was way too much chemistry, became enraged with insecurities and jealousy, and made it incredibly difficult for Blake to continue to be aligned with where the movie was going.
For sure.
Made her feel all kinds of uncomfy, and Ryan decided to take over. Essentially. And Blake did it because she was trying to placate Ryan and his insecurities.
And then Justin's placating Blake.
Right.
So we're in a placating kind of lasagna.
Right.
A lasagna of placation. Yeah. I think we should play the end of the voice note because this is the part for me that's been bothering me the most.
90 seconds left here.
I'm going to stop rambling because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So fuck me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better, and give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that, and I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done cutting myself off. Good night.
Yeah, you should cut yourself off.
You should cut yourself off.
You're saying too much, babe.
Okay, because that is almost like the thing that you have to, you feel emboldened and you're brave to say the thing, and then you run away.
Yeah.
Like that little flirty, I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I gotta go bye.
Yes.
You just can't believe he said too much.
Yeah.
So either that is flirting that had been reciprocated previously, possibly, maybe, don't know for sure.
Right.
They had a flirty thing, or that's the root of the discomfort for her. We don't know. But that part for me, not a good look.
Baby on the boob.
You can't say your boob on your boob. You can't say that.
Again, in light of what she had already complained about.
Yeah.
It's just really unfathomable that he would talk about breastfeeding after she'd asked him not to. That he would talk about anything that alludes to anything that could be misconstrued or taken as too much, too intimate.
And I wonder if it's because he's like, well, I've apologized already. I apologized. I said I appreciate her and I'm sorry for how I made her feel. We moved past it, but I can still drop my little things in there that are inappropriate. They're inappropriate. Your boob, inappropriate. Can't wait to see you, spend time with you, inappropriate. Not right. Send my love to Ryan. Weird. Should we talk about Ryan's weekend and Ryan popping in to see his pal Hugh Jackman?
Yeah.
When he popped up at Hugh's show, he obviously went to the friend who has the most goodwill in the world and who is known to be the kindest celebrity. And I can attest to that. Hugh Jackman's just a super wonderful, nice, normie guy.
Yeah.
But when Ryan did that, for me, it was just like, oh, it just looked desperado.
Right.
And I just want them to do less. Say less, do less. Stop releasing a statement every time Justin Baldoni's camp comes out with a new piece of evidence. Just take a minute. Stop responding.
Well, they tried to gag order them
3 times now.
Which to me says they feel they're losing this battle.
I mean, one little Google search would tell you that in the court of public opinion, they are losing.
Yeah.
And Justin has claimed that or his team, that they're going to produce a website of evidence that's just going to read like a blog post, I guess, of
There's more?
There's like, that's the thing.
Tell
you know what?
me it ain't so.
What's also wild to me is I want to know who's behind this strategy. This is a literal content calendar of evidence that they're rolling out.
Right.
It's like, okay, on January 30th, we're going to drop this. And then maybe February 2nd, we'll come in with this.
Right.
This would really match well with what we've got on the 6th. And they're just rolling it out.
I can't believe you saw me in Perez Hilton's DMs or his comments. I
did. I saw you.
Mortified.
No.
Because they're saying also, who's saying, I don't know, the world, something, Reddit is saying that potentially Baldoni's team has hired some of these influencers to reveal some of these details and to be Team Baldoni. Honestly, I don't feel like that's so far-fetched. It feels like it's all so biased to the point where someone better be getting paid to say these things.
But it was so biased in the beginning too. Like, remember that when she filed and the New York Times came out, we were like, screw that guy. He's going down. Cancel, cancel, cancel.
Yeah.
Drop from your agency. Drop from the domestic violence organization that you're a big supporter of. He was done. He was over. Justin Baldoni was like smithereens.
Yep.
And now look. So this is what I mean.
Yeah.
I know. And people are going to be so mad at us about some of these takes and some of these thoughts. I actually encourage that. I encourage that because I think it's a larger conversation.
And if someone can explain it to me in a way that I haven't understood it,
yes,
I really welcome it. Let's have the discourse. I want to know.
Yeah.
When I'm trying to slice it and I'm trying to make sense of it all, I just don't see it the way that the internet's seeing it.
I see parts of it the way the internet is seeing it. I see parts of, and that means that, it's all Justin's the good guy, Blake's the bad person. I don't see it that way. I see parts of both of them have made terrible errors here. And I think this mutually assured destruction thing is like, guys.
Let's move on.
Okay. Demi Moore's got a new man.
Oh my God. I am obsessed. As the kids say, I ship this relationship.
So do I.
Okay.
And if you haven't heard who it is, she is rumored to be dating none other than Andrew Garfield,
who is the heartthrob of the moment.
Yes.
No one more beloved than him at the Golden Globes.
Yes.
With the glass. And remember, this was announcing her win.
Yes.
He takes out the glasses. He's looking in the camera. He's fixing his lapel, adjusting his necklace. People were freaking out about how hot he was at the Globes. And then it turns out that they were sort of hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
They were.
Because there are photographs of them where he is kissing her hand.
Arm on shoulder.
She has her arm around him. And then it's been rumored that they are currently in Idaho together at her house in Sun Valley.
Yeah. They're there. I know. I love this couple for a few reasons.
Yeah, tell me.
If I focus on the Andrew reasons, he is the most emotionally evolved man.
Come on.
I adore his vulnerability.
Yeah.
When he speaks about the passing of his mom and what grief means to him and how he moves through life with grief. He also lost his brother. When he cries, I cry. The minute that man cries, I'm crying. I don't know if you saw when he was on Sesame Street with Elmo and he talked about missing his. I can't even talk about it. I can burn my eyes right now.
I know.
He is just such a beautiful soul and with such a beautiful heart. It's like the world doesn't deserve Andrew Garfield right now.
I agree.
He's too good for this planet.
I agree.
Especially the state that we're currently in.
And his glow up like only just adds to the heartthrob of it all, because yes, he is this beautiful man who's so vulnerable and sweet and good. And Demi deserves a good man.
Yes.
Dare I say, okay, Ashton Kutcher is like the Temu version. What I got versus what I ordered.
Oh my God.
What I got, Ashton Kutcher versus what I ordered,
Andrew Garfield.
The
Temu version? Oh my God.
Tell me I'm wrong.
That's
because,
awful
okay,
and
let's see.
amazing.
Andrew's actually a good actor. Ashton, not.
Yeah.
Andrew's actually a good guy. Ashton, turns out, not.
Doesn't look good for him.
None
Does
of
not
it
look
has
good for
looked
him.
good for Ashton.
No. We also, if you want to do one more comparison, Ashton punked.
Right.
Not a whole lot of evolution there as a man.
No.
And then Andrew sitting with Elmo on a step talking about grief and how grief is just missing somebody because you loved them so much. Like
Other sides of the universe.
complete other side. But they've both lived a lot of life. I think they probably have deep and stimulating conversations, right? I think they probably sit and read in the same room together, which just sounds so nice and cozy. I think he's a super normie. She normied her life when she moved out to Idaho to get away.
Yeah.
I think that I know that there is an age gap. It's not that big. He's 41. She's 62.
Can I blow your mind for 1 second, though?
Yeah, please. Always.
Demi, when she got with Ashton,
Okay,
and we were working together at the entertainment show, and it was a huge story. The getting together and the breaking up was like a massive story for us. And it was like, oh my God, older woman, cougar. She's so much older than him, all the things. She was our age now.
No.
Yes.
What?
I can't.
She felt so old.
He made her feel very old.
To me back then, she felt really old.
Yeah. Well, she did have 3 grown kids and all the things, true. But I don't know I saw her age back then. I think she was 42 when they got together. And then I was like, oh, I'm really close to that.
Yeah.
I'm in the same box.
Yeah. That's our median age there. But I do love these two. I think, I would love to see her bring him to the Academy Awards. I would love to see that moment. She is, as we talked about, the front runner to win in her category.
Definitely.
Could you imagine a more supportive partner that night? Could you imagine a bigger cheerleader than Andrew Garfield for his woman in that moment?
If they hard launch their relationship at the Oscars, I will die.
I will die
for it.
I will be so happy.
Oh my God, so much to look forward to.
I know. I think they're a great pairing. I think it's great. I think this is a couple I'd like to see more of, and hopefully they let us see more, because right now we're just getting little sneak peeks. But I'd like to see a little bit more.
It's not even that confirmed. It's like we're still reading between the lines. Like I think it's pretty much a rock solid source, but they haven't given us what we need to really solidify it. And I cannot wait for all of it to unfold in the next few weeks. And hopefully, yes.
You know how you look back at things? When you saw her at the Golden Globes, of course she looked fantastic.
Yes.
There's a looking fantastic, but then there's like an inner something that you can't quite put your finger on.
Yes.
There's something going on here beyond her looking really beautiful.
Now we can see it more clearly.
It's a
She had the
sparkle.
glow of a woman in love.
She had the sparkle.
She had the glow of a woman in love with a good man.
With a good guy.
And this is what she deserves.
Yes.
I love
high quality
this
man.
renaissance for Demi. I think she has been treated poorly, unfairly.
Yep.
She's been cheated on and lied to. She's gone through addiction, and this.
That's right.
And she's the award season plus the potential romance. Like, yes, baby, yes.
Yes, all of it.
Yeah.
Yes, all of it. Raising her children whose father has dementia. Like there's all kinds of stuff that she's had going on. Life has not been
tough.
easy for her for a lot of reasons.
Tough. So
Yay.
Make out with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I love that so much.
Me too.
Yes.
Okay, third story.
Yeah.
We've got Harry and Meghan and the Vanity Fair article that we read so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, really.
It's like a 52-minute read, they said.
I had to break it up in 2 parts. I couldn't even get through it in one sitting.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Right. It is a lot, and maybe it's unnecessarily long.
Completely agree.
Like, what's the angle? So obviously we have to say this does not reflect well on Meghan and Harry. It's not a flattering article.
No, I wouldn't say that it is. There's quite a few sources that are speaking out in this article. Some of them had worked at Spotify at the time of the podcast Archetypes, which I guess was not a success. I feel like more people listen to our podcast than might have listened to Archetypes. Right?
Honestly, it sounds like it was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to what we have said about Meghan before, which is that she really wants to curate and script and manage and micromanage everything that she puts out. But the world wants this. They want mess. They want to air it out and see the realness. And I think that what we saw in this article is that Meghan is really hasn't been capable of showing her real, raw, vulnerable side, or pushing the limits, or being a little bit unscripted.
Yeah, but I think for somebody who I believe is really self-assured, is unsure of how to do any of those things. Yeah. It's like, how do I show who I am here? And I don't know if I can really reveal myself here. Some of the things that stuck out to me were Harry's quite happy just for a nice, quiet, private life. And he's fine to go out and meet the people and shake hands and kiss babies, as they say, every now and again.
Yeah.
She wants to be famous.
Yes.
We knew that. Yeah. These were comments from people that are inside or have been inside the camp. Some quit because they couldn't do it anymore. They couldn't work with them anymore.
Well, some are allegedly in therapy because of the nightmare of working with them on these projects.
Yeah. None of which have really...
That's a bombshell.
I mean...
That's not just to say she's not that easy to work with, but to say that people needed actual therapy after working with her because she was so awful is pretty dark.
I would say I don't think anyone's needed therapy after working with me.
No.
I hope not.
No,
that would be
Danielle.
awful. That would be awful.
And same, like I've been, also in a leadership role, right? Running my business. And you're going to have moments with staff that, maybe, again, two perspectives, one side, management, holding someone accountable that doesn't want to be held to. But having this many people in this article saying that they needed therapy and that they were yelled at and all of those kind of like darker...
Or iced out. Or silent treatment.
Yeah.
Which is awful. Yeah, awful. There was a lot of those claims.
Yeah.
And I mean, that wouldn't feel nice.
No.
And this didn't do anything to kind of rehab the image at all that I think some people have of Meghan.
No. And they're saying basically that, Harry's fine to do what she wants. I think he loves her very much and wants to make all of her dreams come true. Mm-hmm. And I think that the article sort of implies that he's happy to sit back and let her be in the driver's seat. They talk about her kind of being almost parental to him.
Yeah.
Kind of managing everything, making everything go. And he just he's a little bit kind of going through the motions.
Yeah.
But they do reference like Oedipus and Freudian, which I find a little bit disturbing.
I know. There was a few parts in there that were disturbing and a couple that were illuminating that I think the headlines, where you grabbed a headline from it, like they are so obsessed with each other.
It's like if you're in a room with them, that you kind of feel like maybe it's inappropriate for you to be there because that's how much electricity is between
the two of them.
So yes, on one hand, the article says that they're deeply in love and that people find that that's palpable in a room with them. Mm-hmm. But then...
I know where you're going.
So on the other hand, allegedly, there was a book idea circulated that she was going to write a book about her divorce, and not her divorce from her first husband, but specifically a book published about her divorce from Harry, which is not a thing that's happening currently.
No.
So is the implication then that she pitched that to the publishers?
Or
Or was it publishers pitched it to her?
Maybe. And it's just like, hey, listen, we know you want to be out there and we've got all these ideas. So let's throw them all at you.
Yeah,
you want to make jams and you want to make TV shows and you want to write books. Here you go. Here's all the ideas.
Yeah.
Because it does seem like that's the goal here. She wants to do it all, but isn't doing any of it over, like not nailing anything just yet.
Yes.
And I know we talked about the American Riviera Orchard. I'm sorry, worst name ever. Just so clunky.
People are mad about that name.
Do you know what's included in the American Riviera Orchard kind of catalog of product? It's not just jam.
No.
Oh, Callie.
What is it?
It's everything.
What?
1 second, please.
Okay.
Because this blew my mind because I had to search up, as my kids like to say, search it up.
Search it up.
I had to search up what is American Riviera Orchard. So I wanted to get an idea of some of the products.
Okay, tell me.
That we're going to be seeing when it gets out there.
Are we?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's not just the jam. Where's the jam, Megan? Jams, nut butters, jelly, and marmalades, yes.
Okay.
But cookbooks, tableware, wallpaper, jewelry, soap, cosmetics, fragrances, yoga mats, stationery, pet accessories. No category untouched.
Wait, what?
She's Amazon. She's everything.
What?
All of it.
Okay, how do you go from jewelry to pet accessories to yoga mats
And
jam
and
as the hero product?
And fragrances and cosmetics, I don't know. I guess we're going to see these products in the Netflix show. Is that when the launch is going to happen? It's like, look at this dish towel. But also, if somebody said, hey, you know, I like your pillow. Where's it from? HomeSense. 2 syllables. HomeSense.
Right.
Tight.
It's a little wordy.
It's a little bit much.
Difficult to say.
No part of this article was complimentary or flattering.
No.
None of it.
They had a lot of sort of counter arguments in parentheses.
Yeah.
It was like, they were a nightmare to work with and everyone's in therapy. In parentheses, some people say that they were quite pleasant. And parentheses.
You're
like
right.
It was so weird. And it's like, make it less obvious that you're super biased in this article.
So you're just trying to like add a little balance, but it's not balanced at all.
Yeah, it was not at all giving balanced media reporting.
Not at all.
At all.
Not at all.
Yeah, it's a little transparent.
It is. When the jam comes out, I'll be sure to send some your way.
I love a good jam.
You know, jam's really easy to make, by the way. It's not like the hardest thing in the world. They make it every year. So don't make that your hero product. It's like 3 things. It's 3 ingredients. So we could do a blind taste test. My jam versus the American Riviera Orchard.
I love this.
Okay.
We're going to make this happen.
Perfect. I love it. We'll get the husbands in on that one, actually. Let them taste
yeah.
it. Before the end of the show, we have to talk about the Baldwins.
Hilaria. Hilaria Baldwin.
Where'd it go?
It's nowhere to be seen. That accent is gone. G-O-N-E gone.
If you haven't seen it yet, please watch the trailer for the new Baldwins show coming to not Netflix, not Apple, not Disney, not Prime, TLC, which gave us John and Kate +8.
Well, this is giving John and Kate +8 in a big way.
It is. Well, they do have, I think, what did they say? 7 kids and 6 animals, or 6 kids and 7 animals?
7 kids, 6 animals.
Oh boy.
Like, Alec Baldwin is a big name. Could they not have gone to Netflix? Could they not have gone to Amazon? Could they not have gone to any of the other major platforms that are creating very elevated content on demand?
Yeah, cable is not chic.
It is not. It's never been chic.
No.
And to be associated with the Octomom sort of
Nadia Suleiman.
not Octomom, like to be associated with that area of media just feels like, what's going on?
Well, we have to ask the why. Why? It's not for money.
Is it
You're
not?
good.
Are you sure?
You think?
I don't know.
I mean, kids are expensive, yes.
They have a bajillion kids. He's
do.
been through some legal battles.
Yeah.
And what's Alec been doing lately to make money?
Well, 30 Rock's in syndication all over the world. Wouldn't
Okay.
that make you some money? But you're right. He hasn't really done much. So really the why, I think we're answering it as we're asking it. The why
Hey
is...
Siri, what's Alec Baldwin's net worth? 60 million.
So that's a lot of millions.
It's a lot, but it's not that much. I mean, we talked last week about Justin and Haley. They have $200 million in there.
Burning through it.
Yeah. They've squandered, so to speak, their money. So 60 million for 6 kids, I don't know.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Between the kids, it's not a lot. And there's lots of I'm sure houses and expenses in there. And he hasn't done anything in a while. It does look as though, if you from the trailer, that they do address what happened on the set of Rust and the tragedy and the death of Helena.
Interesting that we might get to see some of that. That I'm more interested in than I think just watching them parent their kids, although it sounds like it's a bit of a zoo.
There's no way it isn't. My house is a zoo. You come over here. I have 2 kids. It's chaos.
Yeah,
it's a circus.
And then like all of the
and
animals.
all those animals. The purpose of this, listen, Alec Baldwin did not handle what happened on the set of that movie very well. Remember how poorly his response was received when that woman tragically died on the set of that movie? And he was criticized pretty heavily for that. Then he kind of went away. He's had 100 children since then. This is an attempt at rehabbing the image, obviously.
Alec is notoriously someone who hates the press.
Yes.
I think people have filed lawsuits against him for attacking,
being a jerk,
paparazzi.
Yes.
And he's known to have a temper and all the things. So for him to put his life out there on blast like this is so puzzling. Between his kind of weird push-pull relationship with the press and Hilaria's weird relationship also with the press.
With her accent,
in which people have done deep dives into where was she born? Where is she from? Where did this accent come from? This woman was born in Boston and she's talking like she can't remember the name of the word cucumber on national television. Do you remember that?
No.
What?
What was that on?
She was on like Good Morning America a couple years ago, and she was like doing a cooking segment. I don't know why she was doing a cooking segment, but here she is. And she's like, okay, so here we have the pizza, and then we have the basil, we have the tomatoes, and then we have what do you call this? The cucumber. And then that's literally like, that was pretty good.
Right, that was actually really good.
And the whole world was like,
what?
Huh? What do you mean? And then she's like, no, I was born in Spain and my whole family calls me Hilaria. Everyone's like, your name is Hillary, babe. What in the Gwyneth Madonna world is this? What
happened?
Why?
But now she's dialed it all back.
Do you know what? I have a feeling that that's how she landed Alec, was she was this hot tamale exotic Spanish yoga instructor. And then bit by bit, she's had to kind of like, wait, when you were single and went to the bar, did you ever fake an accent?
Never an accent, but a name oftentimes. You would fake an accent?
Full accent all night.
Give it to me.
It was like definitely British.
Come on. Was your name Callie? What's your name?
I wasn't like doing a whole character profile before. I was like, let's go in and pretend we're British. Got it?
Got it. Let's do it.
And then we would talk in an accent.
Okay.
And we would do it the entire night without breaking. But imagine then that I'm like, I've now fallen in love with this person. It's like a famous actor. He thinks I'm British. Uh-oh. Like, this is not a little tiny lie. Like, now I either have to fake this accent for the rest of my life and also call my mom and be like, okay, we're British now, okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm hanging out with
kind of in deep here
with this actor and he thinks we're from the UK. So I told him Northern London and I hope that works.
Okay.
Thanks.
Figure it out on your end.
Yeah.
I need you to get it together. Okay.
Like, we got to get a dialect coach in stat.
Uh-huh.
But so like, I feel as though that's how she got Alec in the first place, and then little by little has been losing the accent over time. Now,
so you think it was maybe a slow dropping of the accent?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now we watch this trailer, and she is fully American. There is not one hint of an accent.
No, it's gone. Completely gone.
Hilaria.
Maybe it was just like, I can't keep up this charade. I've got 6 kids and 7 animals.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You know what? I lied.
It's
okay,
too
I
much.
lied. I have no accent. I have no Spanish, history. I am not in any way related. I give up.
The jig is up.
Yeah,
I can't do this anymore.
I do love, though.
Exhausting.
I do love outrageous behavior and chaotic stuff because it just normalizes my life.
Right.
So much.
Yeah,
It
it'll
makes
make you feel
so
real good,
normal.
Dee.
I love hearing in the trailer Alec Baldwin saying, don't pee in that pool. Do you know how many times I've had to say that? Don't pee in the pool. Don't pee in the hot tub. Also, he said that they were in the car and somebody just said gross. And you know how often I think or say gross? Oh, just so gross. There's just so many things like that are gross. when you have little kids. Like, they're great, don't get me wrong, but there's so many gross things.
So this is like the modern family reality show, giving it to us straight.
Yeah.
Just delivering the goods, unfiltered.
Yeah.
It's exactly what Meghan and Harry could never do.
Never.
They
could never. I mean, I
truly
never thought we'd see Alec Baldwin on a TLC show.
No. I mean, what in the world is this? But
I don't know.
Again, I think it's another... In today's edition of a man doing what his wife wants to make her dreams come true, we see it with Ryan and Blake. Now we see it with Harry and Meghan. Now we see it with Alec and Hilaria.
That's the thread of the day.
This is the take-home message today.
You found the thread of episode 4.
This is what it is. This is the theme.
Bravo. Wow. Well, I can't. No, I'll watch. I guess. No, will I watch? I don't know if I'll watch, actually. Will I?
I mean, I
I'll
think
watch the
we'll
highlights
definitely
when they come out.
tune in for an episode. I love a good reality show. I'll probably throw it on while I'm on the treadmill.
Yeah.
That is my go-to move. It's like you don't have to watch it fully, but it can be on the background.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like...
Kind of engaged.
Yeah, you're kind of engaged. You're getting the highlights. It's keeping you entertained. So I probably will throw that into the mix so I can keep you posted.
Yeah, you let me know. Or I'll get to see some nice highlights on social media, which is like one of my favorite ways to get those tiny little bite-sized
one
bits.
big fat meme.
Yeah.
And we can just enjoy it on the internet.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's probably what's going to happen.
Well, today was another great one. I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week. Not a moment sooner.
Can't talk to you in between now or then. We'll share DMs with no commentary. That's all we do.
I don't want to know what you're thinking.
I will know, though, if I see you on Perez Hilton's Instagram again. Shit. I'll know what you're thinking. That's your giveaway.
Am I the worst?
No, it's amazing.
Oh, my God. I'm mortified.
No, I love it. I love it. And I want him to come clap back, and I want him to come over here and listen to what we're talking about.
I was kind of holding my breath waiting for the trolls to sick after me. I only got a couple of negative comments and one like.
Great.
Someone thought I was
me.
right. Thanks, Dee. You're always in my corner.
I got you.
I love you for that.
I got you. Well, thank you for listening and joining and participating. And you feel free to yell at us on any of our takes because we can take it. And we'll see you back here next week.
See you then.
See you. Bye.
Bye.